Hello students, I am Kalachelvi, Department of Chemistry, JJ College of Arts and Science, Pudukottai. Now we have to discuss about spectroscopy, NMR spectroscopy. Already you know very well about spectroscopy. Spectroscopy means interaction of electromagnetic radiation with matter. Matter means our unknown compound. That unknown compound may be present in the solid form, liquid form or in a gas form. So these unknown compound react with the electromagnetic radiations. So this is an introduction of NMR. So nuclear magnetic resonance is a spectroscopy technique which is based on the absorption of electromagnetic radiation. So when a nucleus, when absorbed electromagnetic radiation, it goes to excited state from ground state. So here we have to choose radio frequency as electromagnetic radiation. The frequency region is 4 to 900 megahertz by nuclei of the atoms. So from different types of nuclei, we have to classify many more types of NMR. So proton NMR, fluorine 19 NMR, C13 NMR, phosphorus 31 NMR example, etc. From these, proton nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy is one of the most powerful tools for elucidating the number of hydrogen or proton in the compound. So this is a theory of NMR where I is the nuclear spin number of a nucleus, which is obtained by combining the spins of protons and neutrons, each of magnitude 1 by 2, each nucleus being composed of different numbers of protons and neutrons will have its own total spin value. With regard to spin quantum numbers of nuclei, the following table can be considered. The first one is half integral spin value atoms, second column gives half integral, and the third column gives the spin value 0 nucleus atoms. So the condition is the nucleus should have spin value in NMR. The type of nucleus is only NMR active. So if the nucleus contains both even number of protons and even number of neutrons, means the spin value is 0. For example, carbon 12, oxygen 16, sulfur 32. So these type of nucleus having the spin value 0. So these nucleus are NMR inactive. So elements with either odd mass or odd atomic number have the property of nuclear spin. If an external magnetic field, the given magnetic nucleus can take up to I plus 1 number of different orientations with respect to the applied field. For example, I is equal to 1 by 2. The possible spin states are minus 1 by 2 and plus 1 by 2. So in the low energy state, the magnetic moment of the nucleus is aligned parallel to the external magnetic field. And in the high energy state, the nuclear magnetic moment is aligned anti-parallel to the external field. In the absence of external magnetic field, the energies of spin states of protons are degenerate. So it is degenerate to plus 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 2. So this is a principle of NMR. The theory behind NMR comes from the spin of a nucleus and it generates a magnetic field. Without an external applied field, the nuclear spins are random in directions, but when an external magnetic field is present, the nuclei align themselves either with or against the field of the external magnet. If an external magnetic field is applied, the degeneration takes place. As the field is applied on the nucleus, the spin states lose their degeneracy and become separated by an energy difference, that is delta E, which is a function of the strength of applied field. When the spin returns to its ground state level, the absorbed radio frequency energy is emitted at the same frequency level. The emitted radio frequency signal that give the NMR spectrum of the concerned nucleus. The emitted radio frequency is directly proportional to the strength of the applied field. So B naught is a external magnetic field and the lambda is a magnetogyric ratio. That is the ratio between the nuclear magnetic moment and the angular moment. So this is a model graph of NMR spectrum. So the NMR spectrum plotted between frequency and intensity. So here we have to use a reference as TMS. TMS means tetramethylsilane. So why we have to choose TMS means it contains 12 equivalent protons and it gives a single resonance signal at a high field. It is miscible with almost all organic compounds. It is highly volatile and is readily removed from the system. It is chemically inert. It does not take part in intermolecular associations with the sample. That's why we have to choose TMS as a reference in NMR. This is a block diagram of NMR instrumentation. So it contains the main parts: sample holder, permanent magnet, magnetic coils, sweep generator, radio frequency transmitter, radio frequency receiver. Sample holder means a sample taken in a glass tube with 8.5 cm long and 0.3 cm diameter. Permanent magnet provides homogeneous magnetic field at 60 to 100 MHz. Magnetic coils induce magnetic field when current flows through them. Sweep generator produce the equal amount of magnetic field passed through the sample. Radio frequency transmitter coil that produces a short powerful pulse of radio waves. A radio frequency receiver coil that detects a receiver radio frequency emitted as nuclei relaxed to low energy level. Then last one, readout system, a computer that analyzes and record the data. So these are some solvents used in NMR. The following solvents are normally used in which hydrogen replaced by deuterium. So CCl4, carbon tetrachloride, CS2, carbon disulfide, CdCl3, deuteriochloroform, C6D6, hexadeuteriobenzene, and D2O, deuterium oxide. And this is the most important word, chemical shift. So in NMR spectroscopy, the resonance frequency required to attain the Larmor frequency of the precessing nucleus is dependent upon the electronic environment about the nucleus. The electrons under the influence of the external magnetic field circulate around nucleus, thereby producing a secondary or induced magnetic field which may oppose or reinforce the external field, so that the magnitude of the field seen at the nucleus is different from the applied field. Such a shift in the positions of NMR absorptions which arise due to the shielding and deshielding of protons by the electrons are called a chemical shift. So a chemical shift is defined as the difference in parts per million, that is ppm, between the resonance frequency of the observed proton and tetramethylsilane hydrogens. TMS is the most common reference compound in NMR. It is set at del is equal to 0 ppm. So the chemical shift, that is denoted by the letter delta. So delta is equal to frequency of a signal minus frequency of a reference divided spectrometer frequency into 10 power 6. So this is a shielding of protons. High electron density around the nucleus shield the nucleus from the external magnetic field and the signals are upfield. Otherwise, low electron density around the nucleus means it is deshielding the nucleus from the external magnetic field and the signals are downfield. So if high electron density present in the nucleus means it is shielding the external magnetic field, it is shield the external magnetic field and it gives a signal to upfield level, and low electron density means it gives the downfield level. These are the factors affecting chemical shift values. So many more factors are affecting the chemical shift value. The factors influencing the values of chemical shift are inductive effect, van der Waals deshielding, anisotropic and hydrogen bonding. So inductive effect means a proton is said to be deshielded if it is attached with an electronegative atom or group. Greater the electronegativity atom, greater the deshielding caused to the proton. If the deshielding is more for a proton, then its delta value is also be more. So here iodomethane, the chemical shift value is 2.16, bromomethane, the chemical shift value is 2.65, chloromethane 3.10 and fluoromethane 4.26. So from increasing electronegative, the chemical shift values are also increased because of deshielding protons. Magnetic anisotropy of pi systems. The word anisotropic means non-uniform. So magnetic anisotropy means that there is a non-uniform magnetic field. Electrons in pi systems, for example alkanes, interact with the applied field which induces the magnetic field that causes the anisotropy. It causes both the shielding and deshielding of protons, for example benzene. Hydrogen bonding. Protons that are involved in hydrogen bonding are typically change the chemical shift values. The more hydrogen bonding, the more proton is deshielded and the chemical shift value is higher. Thank you.